Hello everyone, welcome to One Connected Love. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Christina.
And we're true twin flames in union. And we're here today to talk about another important topic, and that is what does loving yourself mean on the twin flame journey?
It's a good question.
Yeah, very important question. So first we'll talk a little bit about the twin flame journey and self-love. The twin flame journey itself is a journey of self-discovery. Mm-hmm. It's a journey of expansion of your consciousness, ascension of your consciousness, and ultimately, it's a journey of ascension through self-love.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And this self-love is really important because it's basically, expanding your peace, and how you expand your peace is through loving yourself. You can't shame yourself into peace. You can't shame yourself into growth. You grow through peace, and you mm-hmm. get that peace by loving yourself.
Yes, exactly. The twin flame journey is about expanding peace, and through that journey, to find peace, you encounter blocks, and mm-hmm. those blocks are fears to peace.
Right.
And on the journey, it's really about clearing out those fears, moving through those fears, so that you can reach more and more and more peace, which is the same thing as the ascension of your consciousness.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit, just to kind of bring it back to your twin flame, right? So, if you're experiencing separation from your twin flame, you're experiencing separation from who you really are at the core. Mm-hmm. And so to restore, that sense of union in your twin flame union, you have to heal, the reasons that you're experiencing that separation, which mm-hmm. is fears.
Right.
Yeah.
And to clarify a little bit, you could say what does it mean? I'm right here. I'm present. I'm connected to myself right now. While that is true on a surface level, when we say reconnecting with yourself, we're talking about reconnecting with your divinity and your understanding of your divinity as a divine being.
Yeah, like your divine self, who you truly are.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. So, how does one heal fear on the twin flame journey?
Yeah, well, fear and love cannot exist in the same space.
Right.
And so you heal fear by loving. Mm-hmm. And the most effective way that we've found is what our spiritual teachers teach, Jeff and Shaleia. Mm-hmm. It's the mirror exercise. Mm-hmm. So the mirror exercise is outlined in detail in Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover. Mm-hmm. But we can talk about it a little bit here. The mirror exercise basically is like a very fast way to identify the limiting beliefs that are preventing you from experiencing peace in a certain part of your life.
Right.
And when you identify those and then choose to bring love to those spaces, you realign with peace in that space, and then you can make decisions coming from a place of peace and not in the energy of the upset.
Exactly. And the mirror exercise, you can consider it like a micro meditation. It's like mm-hmm. a very small meditation. It has 4 distinct steps. It's scientific, where you could follow the steps every time mm-hmm. And get the same results every time. So we have done a more in-depth video about the mirror exercise. If you want to learn in detail what it is, please check out the video in our channel. Mm-hmm. But right now we're going to lightly touch on them, and then we're going to get to the most important part of the mirror exercise, which is loving yourself.
Yes.
So again, the mirror exercise is 4 steps. The first step is stating the upset in one single sentence. Mm-hmm. I'm upset because.
Yeah.
The next step is changing all of the nouns and pronouns to yourself. So I'm upset because the dog is being noisy. So I'm upset because I'm being noisy in myself, mm-hmm. right?
Yeah. And
mm-hmm.
step 3 is asking yourself if this is true, or in other words, checking in if it resonates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would go into your feelings and feel, is there any part of you that feels that maybe you are cluttered in your thoughts, or loud or distracting in yourself, where there is a part of you that feels shut out mm-hmm. or blocked or canceled or whatever, From there, we move on to the most important step, and this is step 4. And step 4 is to love yourself in that space where you're feeling the disconnection or the anger or the sadness or whatever the feelings you're experiencing in that space.
Yeah. And so the fourth step of loving yourself, when I first started doing the mirror exercise, I also like kind of didn't know what that meant, how to do that, you know, and it can seem ambiguous if you're not used to thinking about it in those terms.
Right. Yeah, but there are very practical ways to love yourself, which ultimately build the relationship with yourself and by extension with your twin flame because you're one.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes from Jeff and Shaleia is, loving yourself means paying attention to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is it's very succinct. It's very clear that loving yourself means giving yourself the attention that you need in that place. And so it really could be as simple as just being present with yourself, right? So many times our attention is everywhere but in ourselves, with ourselves, right? And so loving yourself means just taking a moment and being present with yourself.
Exactly. And one way that I, as an example, personally am present with myself, or if I'm hurting or I have feelings that need love, is I will do a small micro meditation and I will do something like a visualization where I see myself, the hurting part of myself, and I give myself the feeling of love. In the same way you love any other person, it's giving love in the same way, but just to yourself. You're just pointing it to yourself, directing yourself. Give yourself a hug, love yourself, give yourself anything that your heart is asking for in that space.
Yes. And another way that I noticed that a lot of people are calling for love within themselves is just giving themselves permission to fully feel their feelings.
Yes.
And just express them, even if just in your heart to yourself. Journaling can help too. Expressing your feelings. In order to truly process your feelings, you have to let yourself release them. Let yourself let it out. And this, if you don't choose to do this, it can manifest in unfortunate ways, like a tea kettle that there's too much pressure and you go off, right? You could go off on somebody or take your feelings out on a certain situation. And so it's really important to give yourself that space to feel and express your feelings, and they won't they will no longer be your master,
Right.
when you do that.
Right. The feelings will eventually pass. So even if you're inner and you are expressing your feelings to yourself, the hurt part of you is expressing the feelings to yourself, and you're present with the feelings and you just fully feel the feelings and you love yourself in that space, the feelings pass.
Yes.
And the result of the feelings passing is expanded peace.
Right, exactly. That gives space for love to come in.
Right, exactly.
Or for you to be present with the love that's always there.
Right, like you said, fear and love can't exist in the same place, and so long as those negative feelings are there, love can't really be love can't enter that space.
Right.
So it's until you process all the feelings and get them, you remove them, release them, love is there.
Exactly.
Love comes in. Good.
Yeah. And so let's mention also a pitfall that some people have with the mirror exercise when they first start doing it is they'll identify a place where they need love, and then they feel that they have to go take an action to love themselves. So you can love yourself completely to peace in the moment, because whatever it is you feel that you need to do is going to bring you to a feeling. And so you can just choose to give yourself that feeling in the moment. But maybe after you complete the mirror exercise, you may be guided to go do something,
feel inspired.
or or inspired, to go do something nice for yourself. And that's, that's perfectly great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to love yourself. Yeah, so that's a very important thing. In closing here, I'll just say is that I think there's a scientific saying, I can't quote it directly, but it says something like the mind doesn't know the difference. what you feel inside in your inner reality is just as real as the external reality to your mind. So loving yourself inwardly and feeling all your feelings is very real. It's very healing, and it will free you and expand your peace on the inside.
Absolutely.
So if you don't feel like you necessarily need to take any action or do anything, do it inward, and it will heal you.
Absolutely.
Good. So do you have anything else?
No, that feels complete.
Yeah, this was an excellent video. We hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, we're Daniel and Christina, and we do videos like this every week. If you liked this, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. We are Ascension coaches. We do private coaching, group coaching, and personal card readings. If you need support on your twin flame journey, check out the link below to our website, oneconnectedlove.com. We'd be more than happy to support you. And again, thank you so much for watching this video this week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.